the most famous Japanese cheesecake is from Uncle Tetsu worldwide. And the kind of research we did is what are the factors that people consider when they go out. And for the research that we did, we understood that ambience is one of the key factors, probably the highest on the list. The quality of the food or the quality of the coffee, whatever, they rank, number 3 or number 4. Lahore is generally very welcoming when it comes to international brands. So, PF Chang के case में भी ऐसे थे. A lot of other eateries, I think people do want to try out. They're very adventurous, Lahoreans. They want to try out new things.
Saad Mubarak holds a BSc in Management and Business Computing from Beaconhouse National University Lahore. With a background in technology, Saad integrated the food business with technology. Prior to the opening of Uncle Tetsu, Saad was involved in providing tech consultancy to different companies and government organizations, and he was also involved in construction business. Saad had been working on the business of Uncle Tetsu for 2 years until he finally launched it in Lahore in March 2019.
Yes.
So let's talk about your product now.
Yeah.
How did you decide on, this cheesecake, that we should bring a Japanese cheesecake to Lahore?
So, like most of you may have seen the jiggly cake video that went viral a couple of years back. And that's what people still recall as the jiggly cake.
Yeah.
So, I was on one of my trips abroad in Malaysia, specifically. So, at one of those malls, I was searching for something to eat, and Malaysia I don't know if you've been there, the food is very different. The aromas are very different, and they don't seem that appetizing. So just roaming around the mall, try to find something nice to have finally. So I came across a small shop between all the chaos. There was a small shop baking these cakes fresh, and the aroma was so good. And I just took that chance. Lately, I'm in a cake. I asked for the ingredients because obviously you have to make sure that it's halal. And I was surprised that it's made out of very basic ingredients, 5 to 6 ingredients. So I took it back home and then I tried it, and it was just amazing, blown away. So it's when I came back to Pakistan, it got stuck in my mind, and it's one of those things that आपको बार-बार आपको ना trigger करती है. Okay, you start craving for it.
Yeah.
So
when you came back to Pakistan, did you try the local cheesecakes then?
No, I didn't try the local cheesecakes.
Acha.
I didn't even know there were Japanese cheesecakes available. Because there's a huge difference between the New York style or Chicago style cheesecakes and the Japanese cheesecakes.
क्योंकि यहाँ पे mostly New York cheesecake मिल रहा होता था. It started with Masoom's, I guess.
Masoom's, yeah, and I think Burning Brownie made it popular in Islamabad. Yeah.
Acha, so you never tried to hunt for it here. You knew that this is not here.
I already knew that it's not here.
It's not here.
You had all these places like Hotspot, इस जगह पे जहाँ cheesecake मिलता है. Yeah.
But not the Japanese cheesecake.
Not the Japanese one.
So you realized कि अच्छा, if I like it, there must be people who might like that. Yeah. Did you do a feasibility report before, or was it just a risky decision that you made?
So, other than having a tech background, I was also involved into construction. So at the age of 19, I was building my first house while graduating from BNU. So construction business, that was obviously part of my life for a really long time, along with tech business. So when my dad was retiring 2 years back, he was coming back to Pakistan. I tried to involve him into the construction business. But being a manager all his life, it seems like a misfit for him, handling the labor, and instead of keeping him occupied, seemed like more of a adding stress to him. So that's where I decided, okay, I'm gonna venture out into a different business. And the entire motivation behind Uncle Tetsu is actually to have something for my dad so that he can go to every day, and to keep him busy. So 2 years back he retired and he came back to Pakistan. और उसके बाद जो है obviously the ground up the hustling and all the chaos शुरू में जो है for construction and building this, hiring and then starting the operations. uh, Finally, 2 months back I started to involve him, and I sort of moved away from the role of a CEO. Now he's the CEO now, so I'm the I'm the person there just to find, my job there is to find improvements every day and to help this business grow.
Right, right, right.
So I'm sort of transferring all the responsibility towards him.
So you're still doing the construction as well?
Not really. So the market, as you know, since I guess the new government or उससे पहले भी जो है a lot of taxation there. I think it's quite stagnant now.
Yes.
So I think it was a good time to leave the construction business. And since construction was happening here, we found this place at a really bad condition. We had to renovate entirely from ground up. So this took a lot of our time and effort.
Acha. So, did you take the franchise? Yeah. How? What was the procedure? How did you go about it?
Yeah, so we contacted them. I had actually two franchises that I shortlisted. Both were Japanese, surprisingly. So my first preference was Uncle Tetsu. Why Uncle Tetsu? Because the most famous Japanese cheesecake is from Uncle Tetsu worldwide.
Right.
They're the inventor of Japanese cheesecake. And it's the number one, bestseller. So, cake is part of our culture.
It is.
हम लोग cake, we have it, we consume it with our chai. Right? We take it to someone's home. We celebrate with the cake, right?
Yep.
Whether it's anniversary, whether it's birthday.
Yep. You approached Uncle Tetsu.
Yeah. So they were my first preference.
Yes.
Because cake, I felt it has that connection in our culture, and people would appreciate different kind of cake.
Did you try any test run before launching or something? Any idea? Like, was it just a jump of, was it a leap of faith that you took with a Japanese cheesecake, or did you know that, okay, there is a demand for such products?
So definitely it was hard to do any kind of research because people are not aware of Japanese cheesecake, right? Before us launching in the market. So how do you ask? Who do you ask, right? What we did ask, and the kind of research we did, was what are the factors that people consider when they go out, right? And for the research that we did, we understood that ambience is one of the key factors, probably the highest on the list. The quality of the food or the quality of the coffee, whatever, they rank, number 3 or number 4.
Really?
Yes.
What was on the number second?
So number second is the proximity. So is it approachable? Or let's say a group of friends, they're coming to meet up, right? So कौन सी वो जगह है जहाँ उनके करीब पड़ती है जो है उनको पार्किंग उनको मिल जाती है नहीं मिलती जो है area, I think that plays a huge part also.
And parking as well.
Yeah.
Right. So then the food comes on the number 3.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah.
Achha. So this is the data that you had collected, and then you contacted Uncle Tetsu, and then you asked for.
So we contacted Uncle Tetsu first.
Okay.
We got the license. That took us a couple of months back and forward.
Was it easy to get?
It wasn't easy. It was a tough negotiation. It was a lot of back and forward.
What were
push
their
and pull.
concerns?
Their concerns were they weren't willing to give license for the entire country. They obviously it's a new relationship that you're building up, so they wanted to sort of wait and see. Okay, get a license for let's say probably one location. So it took us a lot of effort and a lot of convincing for them to trust us,
Yeah.
especially if you talk about Pakistan. I think it applies to generally anywhere that you go to. So first, you have to sell Pakistan. Secondly, you have to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Then third is obviously what you want to your idea. So yes, stepwise. So
So stepwise ही आप लेके चले as
yeah, you
far
have to sell Pakistan. You have to sell yourself, and then your idea.
वही सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न्स उनके भी थे कि यहाँ पे तो दिस इज अनसेफ और या इस तरह का कोई प्रॉब्लम था या क्या, या उनको लगता था कि यहाँ पे कंज्यूमर नहीं होगा, कंज्यूमर डिमांड नहीं होगी, इनके किस किस्म के
So
कंसर्न्स थे?
uh, since it's a brand that originated from Japan and it's been growing from the West. So from Japan, they went to Australia, Malaysia, New Zealand, Philippines. So it's been growing from the West. So they weren't really concerned कि ये चलेगा या नहीं चलेगा because they've been operating in a very similar market. Let's say Indonesia है, Malaysia
Yep.
है, Thailand है. All these are developing countries, and it's been doing really well in the West. Sorry, the East side. So West की तरफ अभी move होना शुरू होना चाहिए.
अच्छा.
So they have a much, I think, more success chance, finding more countries that are similar and replicating that success too. So this was never a challenge for Uncle Tetsu.
अच्छा. So they were very easy on it कि अच्छा ठीक है, if it's Pakistan that's fine, we will find the customers.
So they were concerned more about Japanese they're really concerned about who they're working with. It's that trust that you have to earn.
Yep. अच्छा, so then what was the procedure like? How did they train the chefs, or are you importing the product, or uh, are they sending their trained chefs, or are your chefs going there for the training? What is happening? How are you making their products as it
Right.
is?
So I'm a hands-on person. So I'm involved into everything. हर एक चीज़ में conflicts होती है. So when it came to training, uh, I was the first person who actually went and got the training.
Okay.
So
You learned how to make the cake?
yeah.
Oh.
So I went all the way to Taiwan. I stayed there for about 3 weeks, or went through the entire process. For I think the first week they didn't even let me, bake the cakes. I had to just wash them or do all the measurements. चीनी को measure कर रहा हूँ मैं जो है, ये flour को कर रहा हूँ जो है, yeah. So like how it is, you're an intern first and then yeah. So and when I came back, I tried to transfer that knowledge, whatever I could, to the newly recruited staff. Or obviously there were a lot of other things going on also. It took a lot of effort to get this started and get the supply chain sorted. So they gave us some support also. They sent in their one of their senior bakers from Taiwan, and the operation head
Oh.
from Canada. He came for the launch, and they stayed there for about 2 to 3 weeks,
And they trained the chefs here?
and they trained the chefs.
How much time did that take?
The training process.
Yeah.
Um, so they came here 1 week before the launch.
Right.
So everyone was mentally prepared, and I did transfer a lot of knowledge, show them the videos and all. Our kitchen got functional just 1 week before the launch. So yeah, a lot of chaos, and we just had 10 people, including me, on the launch day. Or it's been crazy, and if you came during the launch time, you would probably see me standing behind the counter serving the guests.
Acha.
Yeah.
So who were those 10 people? Where did you find those 10 people? They were your friends and family?
No, so these 10 people consisted of a team of baristas
Okay.
and a team of bakers.
Okay.
Uh,
Right.
so we got these. So we hired the managers first. When it comes to, let's say, we found this academy located in Phase 5. It's a barista academy. So it's Pakistan's first barista academy, and it's
Okay.
been run by Mr. Ahmed Samad. So we convinced him to get on board with us.
Okay.
He's the guy responsible for training all the staff at Coffee Planet.
Right.
Mashallah, he has very in-depth knowledge of coffee and beverages. So we got him on board, and then it became easier for us, to, at least from the beverages side. And then the bakers, we contacted one of the most popular schools located in Lahore, Gotham, and they helped us with resumes.
Right. So you have three things on your menu. How did you decide that acha, I only need three things and I'm not going to exceed more than that? And what was the reason behind it?
So, three things from the bakery side. We do have an extensive menu when it comes to beverages. We offer coffees. We have a specialty coffee also that we hand brew. We have different teas, organic teas. So our beverage side is quite extensive. From the bakery side, obviously, like I said before, the Japanese, you have to earn their trust. And they weren't willing to give us any other flavors at the start. They wanted us to perfect, because there's so much concern about quality. They wanted us to perfect the original cheesecake. And that's what we're doing with the past 4 months, 4 or 5 months. Yeah.
So you're still perfecting the product.
We did, and then just recently, 2 days back, we launched our chocolate version of the cake.
Right. And how was the response?
Response has been really good.
Acha, great. So, so now you have launched the product. Going back to 4 months ago, you have launched the product. How much time did it take for the word to spread and customers to start coming in?
In our case, it was instant.
Why do you think that was?
Well, number one, I think people were already familiar with our product. If not by name,
Yeah.
they have seen the Japanese cheesecake and they were curious. What is this kind of cake? Just give a quick topping नहीं है. There is no fondant art or something.
And it's not chocolate flavored.
It's not chocolate flavored, and there's just a stamp on top of it. So I think it reaches. Secondly, Lahore is generally very welcoming when it comes to international brands. So PF Chang के case में भी ऐसे था a lot of other eateries. I think people do want to try out. They're adventurous Lahore's. They want to try out new things.
So you get if I am bringing in something new, people would be willing to try out and.
Okay, I would say you have to believe in your product first.
Yep.
And I knew, okay, the product is really, really good. And a lot of my, during this phase, 1.5 year before the launch, right? So a lot of friends and family, everyone tried it across the world, whether it's in Malaysia, whether it's in Canada, whether in Saudi Arabia. And from everywhere, I got that response. Because in the first bite, you love it, right?
Yeah.
So when you get all these positive vibes,
Yeah.
and people are supporting you, your friends and family, so I made that decision not to go into जैसे यहाँ पे typical launches होते हैं. You have this bloggers meetup where you have a tasting session. I mean, I already knew this product is a hit. Why do we need to have get it verified from all these different sources, right?
Acha. But does it not help in spreading the word about your product? Oh, it's here, it exists, it's in Lahore. Come try
So
it.
you have, look, as a business owner, you have choices, right? Where do you, obviously you have limited resources. Where do you invest?
Yeah.
The different ways. Either you do outdoor advertisement, to digital advertisement, or you spend on PR. So we decided to go for outdoor advertisement,
Okay.
and we ran on digital streamers our adverts for about a week.
Acha.
That's the only thing that we did instead of going the PR route.
Right. And that worked for you.
That worked for us.
Oh, great. Uh, Acha. So, Abhi, I have observed that there are certain franchises that came and that they weren't successful. For example, Fat Burger, for example, Burger King, and a lot of other franchises. What do you think was the reason behind that? And what should someone take into consideration when they're bringing in a franchise, an international brand, to Pakistan?
Okay, so franchise is going to help you definitely, uh, but I strongly believe it's not just about the product; it's how you execute it, right? It's the entire setup. Uh, so the brands that you mentioned, they have some really good products, but I think the execution was flawed. Maybe the marketing, maybe the operational side of things, maybe the location that they picked, maybe the pricing. So many factors are involved in the success of a brand. So you can't just blame on the brand itself. It's the people who are executing it over here. Abhi, I think it's apparent. It's very clear, for example, how Burger King is worldwide. If you have traveled, how it is competing against McDonald's, and in the local market, Burger King has a lot of work to do. It's struggling in some areas. Some areas, I think, it's again, me as a owner, I can only generalize. I don't know how things are happening,
Yep.
what happening, but I think one of the factors in this case is the location. You see McDonald's in such a good location in Lahore, and then you see Burger King. Uh, the locations they have picked, I think that's one of the factors that they can probably improve on to be more successful.
How did you choose on your location?
So here's another funny thing that so the two locations that we considered, uh, both locations we said no to, and one of our competitors uh, picked both of those locations.
Oh,
One
do you
was
have a competitor?
not direct competitor, but indirect competitor, I would say.
Okay.
For let's say coffees and all, obviously we're a cafe,
Oh, okay, okay.
so we are competing against Glow Agent's Second Cup, Coffee Planet, Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf.
Right.
But when it comes to, let's say, bakery, we're competing against all the bakery brands. So indirect competitor, let's say, both of
Right.
those locations were chosen by our indirect competitors. Yeah.
So then, so then what happened with the location? You found a new one?
We found
No.
we left. We said no to those locations. Okay. And both of these locations, one was in Gulberg on the main boulevard. The other one is in BHA, Phase 5. We said no to both of these locations, and because we found a much better location that is standalone, that allow us to bring in that Uncle Tetsu experience. For us, that experience factor was, I think, one of the key things. We didn't want it to have a location where we're just limited by square footage. For example, you have this in Lahore, you have this small one area
Yeah.
where you get all this footfall there. It was very easy for us to get one of the locations from there and start off from Tetsu, but we chose not to do that. We chose to build and have a much, let's say, a much larger location where we can build the entire experience.
Right.
We wanted to introduce uh, Uncle Tetsu in such a way that people would actually remember it. This is the first time. A lot of these Pakistanis, this is the first time they're experiencing Uncle Tetsu.
Yep.
We wanted it to be special. So we call this as an experience outlet, right, for us. It's more about the experience. So as soon as you step in, you see the double height, you see the open kitchen layout. Everything is there. You're experiencing the hotel. So there's nothing happening. There's no back kitchen. सब कुछ सामने हो रहा है.
So it's cooking in front of the public.
Yes,
Acha.
that's another challenge that we took on. It's an open kitchen layout. The entire process is done in front of you. So every 15-20 minutes, you have a new batch coming out of the oven. It's all
Why
live.
do you think that was important for you to show to them what's how
To
it's
develop
getting
that
made?
trust. So we've been hearing a lot of things being a resident of Lahore, from PFA, from just being a general citizen. So you lose a lot of trust when international brands they don't follow the SOPs, and you get to hear all these fines, all these negative PR. Um, so for us, it was very important to develop that trust with our customers. And bakeries don't have that good repute in Pakistan. So uh, this is one way for us to at least try to change that mindset. It's not necessary you have to have a back-end kitchen. You can follow the SOPs. You can give out a high-quality product and at a reasonable price.
So I am interested in knowing कि जब product लोगों ने try करना शुरू की and they started experiencing your space since you have tried to make it an experiential space for the customer. Uh, and also you told me that you're an IT designer, so you have designed all the IT systems in your company. Did you make any system to collect the data of the consumer behavior after trying the product, after experiencing the space, and what have you gained out of it? What have you concluded out of it? Or what data has told you about the consumer behavior in Lahore?
So we installed a footfall counting device. Uh, what that has helped us is to understand who our consumers are, and obviously there's general observation also. So इससे पहले we conducted our research also, as I mentioned earlier. So people nowadays they come to cafe to socialize. लोग एक दूसरे के ड्राइंग रूम में नहीं जा रहे जो है ठीक है no more home visits. People are going to cafes to meet up with their friends to catch up on things and just socialize. So um, we knew that people come in groups. Unlike the Western market where people go and open up their laptops and work from cafes, in Pakistan and specifically Lahore, that has yet to happen. That transition, that percentage is quite small. So people usually come in groups of three, four, and usually females are involved also.
They're coming in with their laptops and they're working there.
No,
Have you
not
made
that.
it that kind of a space where people can work, come and work?
Yes, we dedicated entire area
Okay.
where people, can sit and work for long hours.
Okay. If you're paying per day 1,000 rupees for a desk per day, and you're paying for the coffee and something else with the coffee, at the end of the day, it doesn't it cost the same?
So people who do it on a frequent basis, let's say freelancers, they usually get those monthly packages. So you don't end up paying.
Yeah.
So and I've been to a lot of co-working space also. whether it's collabs, whether it's Kickstart, Uncle Tetsu has been part, and co-working has been one of the key factors in helping us structure ourselves at the start. So, what I observed from the co-working spaces is you don't have those people coming in for day passes. That percentage is quite low. People usually commit to at least a month.
Yep. So you're saying that the people who want to just come for a day here and there very randomly, they would rather prefer a cafe over a co-working space.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, is this what you have noticed from your consumer behavior?
From
From
our consumer behavior also, and obviously people do also go to libraries also. For example, the residents of DHA, they have the option.
I don't think people go to libraries anymore.
You'll be surprised how many medical students actually go to libraries, especially the one in DHA.
Really,
Yes.
that's really surprising. Halanki, there are a couple of coffee places as well in DHA that are also offering similar spaces, and they are very crowded as well. So,
You haven't been to the DHA library, have you?
no, I have not. I was just assuming that people won't be going to the libraries anymore because I once went to the Qaid Azam library and no one was there. It was empty. So,
I can't say about the other libraries, but what I've observed from the DHA library,
right. But that is not your focus, right? That's not your
of course.
main. So, what kind of an experience are you, inducing with your space? Do you want them to sit longer? Do you want them to, do you want a quick turnaround? How is the space designed? What kind of an experience do you want
So,
to?
um, from my own experience, because I've been running my own tech company, I've been visiting a lot of cafes, and I've noticed over the years that how they have transformed. For example, if you go to any one of the popular cafes, if you go there and just sit there, open your laptop, and immediately the server would come and start asking, okay, start bugging you, okay, forcing you to
Yeah.
order
Yeah.
something. So from early on, I didn't want to get into, I didn't want to create that environment in my own cafe. So that's why we have this huge space. We have a lot of sitting area, uh, and so far, for us, our servers are there just to assist, not to trouble anyone. Okay. Because there have been occasions whether you're waiting for someone or you just want to, work and probably order later. I think you just need to trust people more. Okay, maybe even if they don't order the first time, the first visit, probably they'll do it in the second or the third.
Yeah.
It's not just one visit. You have to look at the entire journey, the entire lifetime. A customer, if you earn that trust, so you don't have to make money on the first visit.
Right.
That's what I tell my own staff. Not to hesitate when it comes to complimenting someone. It's okay, you do mistakes. होती हैं, you treat like, let's say, for us, it's in our case, it's 150 customers or so a day come in. So naturally, the percentage will be there where you do make mistakes. Just don't worry about that mistake and take care of the entire. Uh, it takes a lot of effort. Marketing spent is involved. Getting people in the door. So you want them to keep on coming.
Right. So you have now launched the chocolate flavor. Is this a
Yes.
customized flavor? Like, is this exclusive to Pakistan or is this an international thing as well?
So it's an international recipe.
Okay.
The only thing that we did for Pakistani market was we just increased the chunks of the chocolate so that people actually see chocolate.
Okay.
Because Lahoris, the same way, they don't understand what a cheesecake, Japanese cheesecake is. There's a lot of education that was done from our part, or और maybe from the peers कि लोगों ने थोड़ा सा educate hopefully कर दिया काफ़ी सारे लोगों को जो है. um, when it came to chocolate cheesecake, we wanted to, because people are used to the molten lava cake here,
Yeah.
right? What they don't know, molten lava, उसके अंदर chocolates, it's a chocolate ganache that's involved. As soon as they open the cake, it chocolate is, it comes out, it's leaking there. So, for that audience to understand our cake, that's the minor tweak that we did, so that they can actually see the chocolate.
Right. But what have you observed so far? Are they still more liking the original cake, or are they more inclined towards the chocolate one?
I have yet to, because it has been about 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Um, people, the only thing I got to know from some of the feedback that I got was probably they were wanting something like an ice cream with our cake,
With the
because
chocolate
again
one?
with the chocolate
Yeah.
one, because that's how it is, the molten lava is,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that's what the stereotype is
Yep.
here in Pakistan, especially in Lahore. um, I hope things are different in Karachi. I hope things are different in Islamabad. But Lahoris are used to, molten lava.
Did you even consider other cities before launching? Maybe you should try Islamabad or Karachi, or
So I knew from the very start, Lahore is a very difficult market. It's trendy. एक बार तो rush पड़ता है जो है. Everyone comes in just to try out. Everyone's curious. What is this new thing? Uh, and you only get this chance once. To a lot of brands, it's like a situation where you make it or you break it, right? So Lahore दूसरा chance नहीं देता है. So I think that's what probably in the brands that you mentioned earlier, you saw a lot of people rushing towards these brands the very first time, and then they never came back.
yep.
I just didn't want it that for me, that's so. And and
So how do you think you're making it a long-term experience for the customers?
innovation. So we have this entire department set up uh, that is basically working on new and new innovation. Uncle Tetsu has given us flexibility when it comes to our beverages side. So you'll be hearing a lot about us, and we're very excited what's coming up next. So
Okay.
first 6 months has been all about cheesecake, cheesecake, cheesecake.
Yep.
But next 6 months, you're gonna hear a lot of other things coming out of Uncle Tetsu.
Right. Actually, you have started this company in a very uncertain economic times.
Mhm.
Has this affected your business in any way, or is it going well so far?
Yes, it has. So
Yes.
when we launched, we did hear about a lot of consumers saying, okay, this cheesecake is expensive. Obviously, when they go out to any of the cafes, they have the option of getting a slice of a cake, and that slice costs them about, let's say, 400 plus tax, 500, around 500. So when it comes to Uncle Tetsu, okay, people come in and they see this entire cake that's worth 1,050, including taxes. So obviously, although it's an entire cake that three of you can share, on the other side, a lot of people just want a single slice. So initially, they didn't get it. A lot of people demanded for slices, uh, but for the past, I think, 3 4 months, a lot of people now understand the value.
Yeah.
Right? 3 and 4 people can have a dessert. It would cost them about 200 rupees each. And enjoy the coffee or tea along with this.
So now people have come around, and then now they're ordering, the entire thing, and so they have calculated the economics and in their heads, and they know, okay, it's
Yeah, yeah,
economical for
yeah,
them.
yeah.
So Are you catering to the masses or is this a niche product?
This is definitely not a niche product.
Okay.
Uh, Although it may seem like a niche product, but it's not a niche product. So we have youngsters, millennials, kids. They love this product, and perhaps even if your parents try it, they would love it. So certainly not a niche product.
Right.
My grandparents, they love it, and my nephews, they love it. So yeah, so it is across the spectrum.
Are you planning on scaling up?
Definitely, we built this entire organization to scale up. We invested so much effort to make sure that we are ready for scale.
Great. So, if you are okay with discussing your plans, you can share a bit of your upcoming plans for the company.
So right now we're evaluating all the franchising requests that we have received. A lot of it is from Karachi,
Wow.
some from Islamabad also, and some much smaller cities, say Faisalabad, Sialkot, and all. So we're figuring out what's the best way to move into these different cities. Whether it's should we open up our own outlets? Uh, if we open up our own outlets, what scale do we need to open up flagship outlets like the one in Lahore, or should we open up much smaller outlets? Uh, should we get into JVs, joint ventures, or we just give out franchising? So we're currently evaluating these different strategies, and inshallah soon you will hear a
Great.
lot of good things here.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Saad. That was a great conversation.
स्पेशलिटी रिटेल नीश है कि आप किसी एक नीश एक ग्रुप को अपने कम्युनिटी में से एक ग्रुप को टारगेट करके उनको सर्व करें. गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ न्यू पॉलिसीज़ निकाली हैं. दे ट्राइंग टू डिस्करेज इम्पोर्ट्स ओवरऑल. तो फूड पे काफ़ी इफ़ेक्ट हुआ है ड्यू टू द फिज़िकल स्टोर. उनकी कंजम्पशन भी ज़्यादा हो गई है. व्हेन दे सी इट दे बाय मोर, दे टेंड टू बाय मोर. तो ये हमने एक्सपीरियंस किया है कि एक चीज़ देखते हैं पड़ी होती है ज़्यादा ले जाते हैं. टारगेटिंग एवरीवन विल नॉट वर्क गोइंग फॉरवर्ड. बिज़नेस बहुत मुश्किल होता जाएगा, कॉम्प्लेक्स होता जाएगा, डिफरेंट होता जाएगा. बट यू हैव टू cater to some special niche group.